Hello viewers, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. Also, click on the bell icon so that you get the latest information about the videos that are uploaded.
Hello students, welcome back to the new video. In this video, we are going to continue the ongoing chapter number 2, Microorganisms, Friends and Foe. In today's session, we will discuss about food spoilage and food preservation methods. First of all, we will discuss about food spoilage. Food can be spoiled by some microorganisms. Microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi grow on food items containing moisture and produce toxic substances. And these toxic substances can make the food poisonous. So, how does the food get spoiled? The food gets spoiled by the action of certain microorganisms. Which microorganisms are specially responsible for this food spoilage? Bacteria and fungi. They can grow on food items containing moisture, and as a result they produce some poisonous or toxic substances. So, when the microorganisms like bacteria and fungi start growing on the food items that is moist, that is, these microorganisms produce certain toxic substances, and these substances can spoil the food and make the food poisonous. Eating such food items can cause food poisoning, which can have disastrous effects. So, here the food that is made poisonous by the action of microorganisms, when we eat such food, we can get food poisoning, and food poisoning can have disastrous effects. So, the disease caused due to the presence of a large number of microorganisms like bacteria and fungi in the food, or due to the presence of toxic substances in the food formed by the action of microorganisms, is called food poisoning. So, how can we define food poisoning? The disease caused due to the presence of large number of microorganisms like bacteria and fungi in the food. That is one condition. That is, number of microorganisms like bacteria and fungi are more in the food that we eat, or due to the presence of toxic substances that is formed by the action of microorganisms is called food poisoning. So, it can be either due to the presence of microorganisms in large number, or due to the presence of poisonous substances or toxic substances formed by the action of microorganisms, we can get food poisoning. The major symptoms of food poisoning are vomiting, diarrhea, pain in abdomen, headache and fever. So, if a person gets sudden vomiting, diarrhea, pain in stomach, headache or fever, then we should doubt for the food poisoning. The microorganisms which cause food poisoning come into food from air, dirty hands, unclean food containers, flies, cockroaches, sick farm animals, etc. So, these are the ways by which these microorganisms can get into the food. Which are they? It can come from the air. If the food is kept open, then these microorganisms can come into the food very easily through the air. Then dirty hands. If we do not keep our hands hygienic, and if it is dirty, it can come into the food. Unclean food containers, then the insects like flies and cockroaches, and also the sick farm animals can cause the food poisoning, or these can act as the ways by which the microorganisms can get into the food. Examples of food poisoning microbes are Bacterium salmonella and fungus aspergillus. So, these are the specific names of the bacterium and fungus that cause food poisoning. Which are they? Bacterium salmonella and fungus aspergillus cause food poisoning. Raw food items, unwashed fruits and vegetables, meat, chicken and milk also may contain microorganisms which are harmful to humans. So it is not only the cooked food but the raw food items, unwashed fruits and vegetables and uncooked meat, chicken, milk also may contain the microorganisms which can be harmful to humans. The spoiled food items emits bad smell, has a bad taste and changed color than the original color of the food. So how do we come to know that the food has got spoiled? By its bad smell, and also it can have a bad taste and the color also might get changed. So what does it shows? The spoiling of food has produced a new substance. Therefore we can say that the spoiling of food is a chemical change. Now we will discuss about food preservation. You know that food is very important for all living beings. Therefore, we should not allow even a single grain of food to get spoiled. Therefore, we should adopt the different techniques to preserve the food. The process of preventing food from being spoiled by following suitable techniques is known as preservation. So, what is the definition of preservation? The process of preventing food from being spoiled by following the suitable techniques is known as preservation. Because various food items need different techniques to preserve. Now, what are the advantages of preservation? Preservation helps to store food for a longer duration, retains the color, flavor, texture and nutritive value and stops or prevents the growth of microbes in food. So, by following the techniques of preservation, we can store the food for a longer time. It retains the original color, flavor, texture and also nutritive value, and we can stop or even slow down the growth of microbes in food. Now we will discuss the methods of preservation. Different types of foods are preserved by using different methods of preservation. Some of the methods for preserving foods are sun drying, that is dehydration, heating, cooling, that is refrigeration, deep freezing, addition of common salt, addition of sugar, addition of oil and vinegar, use of special chemical preservatives, pasteurization and canning. So these are the different methods by which we can preserve food, because different food items need different methods of preservation. Now let us see these methods one by one. Sun drying. It is one of the traditional methods of preserving food. Microbes such as bacteria and fungi need moisture to grow and multiply. So the moisture content in the food is removed by drying in the sun. So sun drying is one of the traditional methods of preserving food. What is the principle behind it? Microbes such as bacteria and fungi need moisture. Then only they can grow and multiply. So the moisture content in the food is removed by drying in the sun. Therefore it is also known as dehydration. Examples are wheat, rice, pulses and spices are cleaned and dried in the sun to remove the moisture before storing. The next method is heating. Most of the microorganisms get killed at high temperature. That is why milk and water are boiled before consumption. So heating is another method of preserving the food items. See, the liquids like milk and water can be boiled before consumption to remove all the microorganisms present in it. The next method is freezing. Very low temperatures reduce the growth of microbes. Refrigerator maintains a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius, thus preventing the growth of microorganisms. So we have seen that high temperature is also not suitable for microbes. In the same way, very low temperature also reduce the growth of microbes. In refrigerator, a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius is maintained and thus prevent the growth of microorganisms. So deep freezers maintain a temperature at minus degrees Celsius and are used to store food for a longer time. See, in the refrigerator, at a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius is maintained. But in the deep freezer, the temperature can be minus 18 degrees Celsius and hence it can store the food for a longer time. Examples of this method of preservation are cooked vegetables, pulses, milk, fresh fruits and vegetables. The next method is adding salt. This method is used to preserve meat, fish, fruits and vegetables in the pickles and chips form. Meat and fish are covered with dry salt to check the growth of bacteria. Salting is also used to preserve amla, that is gooseberry, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. So, adding salt is yet another method of preservation. And which food items can be preserved by this method? Meat, fish, fruits and vegetables in the pickles and chips format. Meat and fish can be covered with this salt to check the growth of bacteria. And salting is also used to preserve the things like amla, that is fruits like amla, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. The next method of preservation is adding sugar. Jams, jellies and fruit squashes are stored by this method. So, in the market we are getting the jams and fruit squashes, jellies, etc. They all contain added sugar. And what is the role of this sugar here? Sugar reduce the moisture content and inhibits the growth of microbes. That is, reduce the growth of microbes by reducing the moisture content in the food. Another method is adding oil and vinegar. Pickles, fruits, fish and meat are preserved in oil and vinegar as bacteria cannot grow in such an environment. Therefore, adding oil and vinegar can be used to preserve pickles, fruits, fish and meat. You must have seen that after making the pickles, your mother will be adding lots of oil in it, or sometimes vinegar is added. Because in oil and vinegar medium, the microbes like bacteria cannot grow. Therefore, these things can be preserved or stored for a longer time. Mango, amla, lemon, etc. are preserved in the form of their pickles. And mango pickles, amla and lemon pickles, etc. are preserved for a year long by adding oil or vinegar in it. Now, let us discuss about the pasteurization method. Pasteurization method is mainly used to preserve milk. Here, the milk is first heated to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly cooled to 10 degrees Celsius. So, in pasteurization method, what is done? First, the milk is heated to a high temperature of 70 degrees Celsius and it is maintained for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly cooled to 10 degrees Celsius. So, there is a vast difference in temperature, very high temperature to very low temperature. So, in this sudden fall in temperature, the microbes cannot survive and therefore, this destroys the microbes and the milk can be stored for a certain time, a little longer time. So, this method was discovered by Louis Pasteur and hence this method of preservation of milk is named after him as pasteurization. So, how can we define pasteurization? Pasteurization is a preservation method used for milk in which the milk is first heated to a very high temperature and then suddenly cooled. and because of this sudden fall in temperature, the microbes cannot grow and hence the milk can be preserved for a longer time. Now let us discuss about canning. These days, dry fruits and even vegetables are sold in sealed airtight packets to prevent the attack of microorganisms on them. This helps the dry fruits and vegetables to remain unspoiled for a longer time. So canning is the method of preserving by keeping the things in airtight sealed packets. Because if we do not allow the air to enter into the packets, then the microorganisms cannot get into the food items and it will remain fresh for longer time. And which foods are stored in this way? Dry fruits and even vegetables. This helps the dry fruits and vegetables to remain unspoiled for a longer time. The next method of preservation is using chemical preservatives. Chemicals such as sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite prevent the growth of microbes. They are used to store jams, jellies, ketchups and fruit juices. See, another method is using chemical preservatives. Which are the specific chemical substances used for preserving the food items? Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate. These two chemicals are added and used to store the fruit jams, jellies, ketchups and fruit juices. So students, I hope you have understood the topics very well. But still, if you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. I will surely try to solve it as early as possible. Here are some review questions. Please solve it in your notebook. Thank you.